a lot closer though. If you would please drop a link as to where you are, not link, drop a comment as to where you are, and I'm just getting ready to go on this card making trip. I did find something super cool. This is like, I found this in one of my Temu orders, and I didn't realize that I already had this. So we're going to do another Journalsay versus Temu test, because the more points of data that you have to compare whether or not you have, what's it called? The more data points you have, the more reliable your experiment is. So the first time that we did this, ooh, that's not angled well. Let's do that. I didn't even get my Project Life cards out this time. Darn it. But so the more data points you have, the better, the more reliable your experiment is. And so since we already had the one where we had the two different what are they called? Halloween embossing folders. It turns out that I have also bought the ferns from Temu as well as Journalsay. So that's the first thing we're going to do is we're going to test these and see if the Temu one is better than the Journalsay one, because as it turned out, the Temu one was actually a better embossing than the one from Journalsay. Hello, so let's see, we got New York in the house, we've got Florida in the house twice. Annette, I'm sorry, I don't remember where you're from, but yeah, we got New York and 2 Floridas in the house. Oh wait, no, Kathy, you're not Florida. Kelly is Florida. Okay, Kathy, I don't remember where you're from either. I want to say Alabama. Am I right? Maybe, maybe not. So anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. Looking forward to doing this. We're going to make a couple cards tonight, and see what comes out of it. Or at least we're going to try to. That's the plan. And if you've been in any of my lives, you know how well my plans go. I'm just saying. So the first thing that I'm going to do, Alabama. So Kathy is Alabama. Yes, I remembered it before you put it up there. Yay! So here we go. Where's the, this is the Journalsay one. So this is the Journalsay, whatchamacallit. This is the Journalsay fern folder. I'm looking for my markers so that I can mark on it which one is which, because I need my permanent markers to do that. Oh, 3 Florida in the house, and Missouri, and that's from Missouri. Yay! So Kathy's Alabama. Oh, no, I said Annette was from Alabama, so I was wrong there. My apologies. So we've got Missouri, Alabama, New York, 3 Floridas, 4 if you count me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I lost my markers. I have a whole set of markers here somewhere to mark on this, and I don't know what I did with them. They're the little gold markers that I had from Cricut, because I need to mark that this one came from Journalsay before I move on. All right, well, you know what we're going to do with that? We're going to take, oh, that's going to mess it up, because that'll give it something different. Oh, there they are. I found them. Oh, cool. All right. Here we go. Oh, I didn't even turn my light on yet. One of my list of things to do today to get done was to get my Cricut light set up, and it didn't happen yet. So we're still using my little, that's the Journalsay embossing folder. Okay, now I'm back on track. And this is the Temu one. So this is the Temu one. The code on this one is AT0038. And while I don't have the container for this one anymore, I would assume that that matched because the other one matched, but I don't have any proof to that. Okay, looks like you need the 30 plus count black permanent marker for Mercy. Doris, you are so right. You are absolutely right. I think that I now have excuse to buy that. Very much so. That's not a Y on the end. It's a U on the end. There we go. Y'all are just feeding my marker habit. You know that, right? I'm just putting it out there. I'm just saying it, plop it on the table, letting you look at it, just letting you know that y'all are just feeding my marker habit totally and completely. I'm waving them off of screen because I don't want to make a strobe with them on screen. So I don't know if you can see the shadow of me doing that, but that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to dry this ink so that it doesn't go any further. But there they are. This is the Journalsay fern embossing folder, and that is the Temu fern embossing folder. And already I can see a difference in them. I don't know if y'all can see it, but there is a band here on the Temu one that is not on the Journalsay one. That's interesting. I mean, it's kind of a little bit there, but not really. This could be interesting. Or since I'm new, I have already beaten you to, or since I may have already beaten you to it, I may just need to send you one. Okay, Doris, I think you just told on yourself. I don't think that may is actually a may. I think you have done it. I'm no quotes around the have. I think you have beaten me to it. I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. So anyway, so these are the embossing folders that I'm going to be using today, and I do have to cut up some more paper in order to do these. You'd think I would be a little bit more organized for this after the number of lives that I've done, but no, not quite yet. But you know what? That's what makes my life fun. My life's fun. We get to chit-chat with each other. It's awesome and wonderful. And thank you. I got my mag. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you got it. Yeah, there's 4 packages that I need to send out. Ruth, send me a message through Facebook, please. If you would, please. I would appreciate that. But yeah, there's 4 packages that I need to send out. The 5.5, not 4.5, Chatty, 5.5. That would have been bad. Right, but there's 4 packages that I need to send out, and they will go out hopefully tomorrow. That's the plan, at least, is to go out and send them out tomorrow, so we'll see. Let's see. Moving this to 4 1/4. Oh, darn it. Okay, you too. I mean... Doris and Amira are enabling my marker habit. So those of you that are watching it later and you don't get to see the comments, that's what I laughed at. Both Doris and Amira are enabling my marker habit. So anyway, that's all right. There could be worse things to have a penchant for buying, and I think markers is one of the more mundane things to have a penchant for buying. I'm just saying, you know, I don't think markers are going to actually do anything horrid. There we go. Finally got it. It took me 3 tries to get the little tab off of that one. All right, so now I have enough of these little papers to test this out with. Put my little guillotine down. And there we go. And that guillotine came from Temu, and I very much like it. I don't know if you've noticed, but the handle broke off of the end of it, but it still works just fine. It just doesn't have a handle on it. And I agree with the person, like I said last time, that it would be really nice if it had a, whatchamacallit? I can't believe my brain is gone. A hook to put it together. So we're going to do these now. Last time we found out that this works much better if we put the piece of paper over it. Oops, I wrote it on the wrong side. I wrote it on the side that I'm supposed to put this down on. So there we go. I'm going to put it in right there, right at the end, and close it down. And then this one, I'm going to flip this over and put it down right at the end. I'm going to close it down. We're going to do another test. This was not really expected. It's just when I opened up the package today, turns out that I bought another one of the fern ones, which I probably got for a penny because it's from Temu, because you know I don't spend much money on these when I buy them from Temu. Blink. And let's test it. Bring out my trusty embossing machine and my things, and I have not yet made the little pieces of paper that I'm supposed to have made for this, so we're just going to run it through with the same folded piece of paper that I had last time. So there we go. That needs to come out from underneath there. Piece of paper, folded piece of paper. Oops. Yeah, I don't believe that oops for a second there, Doris. I'm just saying, I don't believe that oops at all. I mean, I'm just putting it out there, just letting you know. All right, so there went the Journalsay one, I think. I think that one was the Journalsay one that went through first. Yep, that was Journalsay, so we'll set that off to the side. And then we'll pull the Temu one and send it through. And see how that works. There we go. Sending it through. And there it is. That needs to go off to the side again. And there it is. $2.20. It's all good as I look at my mini bags from Dollar Tree 25-cent savings. I know, but hey, I mean, the Dollar Tree 25-cent thing, that was pretty incredible. I mean, you really can't fault that at all. I mean, anybody who tries to fault that, they're just wrong. All right, so turning them over. This one's Journalsay, this one's Temu. So this is what it looks like with the Journalsay run through with 2 pieces of paper, and this is what it looks like with the Temu one. And again, the Temu one is crisper. Now that's interesting. That actually surprises me a lot. I would have thought that these would have been made on the same manufacturing line and just sold by different sellers, but there is a very definite difference. I just had to check and make sure that I was actually putting it underneath the camera. I put the camera back in the upper left-hand corner where I'm used to it being, but there's a significant difference. Even without putting anything else on here, you can tell that there's a significant difference in the way that these two embossed. I mean, significant difference in the way that these two embossed. It's like this one right here. This one was Journalsay and this one was Temu. So it's the same idea with this one. This one's, what, Brucey? You very rarely meow. What's up? What's up? What's up with you? You very rarely meow. Did you think you were alone? I think she thought she was alone. What happens if you use 3 pages on the Journalsay? Maybe they use less plastic in their outer layer. Well, let's try that. You know, that's the entire thing that this particular channel is for, is to sit here and test stuff and test your ideas. So let's try that. Let's put a 3rd piece of paper on the Journalsay. All right, before I do that, though, I'm going to mark these as which one's which because I can, still remember from what they look like. So this one is Journalsay. Just write it down here. That one's Journalsay. And this one's Temu. All right, so those are marked now, so we know which one is which. And let's try that. Let's put a 3rd piece of paper on there. I don't have another piece of paper out. Hold on. I've got to get another piece of paper out. So here we go. Here's another piece of paper. And I'm not going to do anything super fancy with this. All right, this is like the worst possible thing that you can do to a piece of cardstock. There we go. There's my 3rd piece of paper. That was not very scientific at all, but that's okay. We're going to try a 3rd piece of paper because why not? You know, it's a great idea. It might be that there's just less plastic in this. So let's put this down again. All right, so start up the sandwich again. We got the base plate. We've got the Journalsay with the piece of paper in it. And put that down in there so that it's in the right place. Just like so. Push that down. Put the double folded sheet of paper, the 3rd sheet of paper, and the top plate on there. And pull that off again because that's too wide. It won't go through my embossing machine. So make that smaller. Another strip of paper to do my recycled paper thing with. Put that back down. Make sure everything's still lined up. Yep. All right. So put that back down. Put that on top. And send it through. Alrighty then. Let's see. Okay, put that to the side. And here is the Journalsay one with a 3rd piece of paper over the top of it. So now this is 3 pieces of cardstock and a 3rd piece of paper. And this one is the, not written on, this one is the Temu one. And sorry, I had them upside down. It's better, but you can still see a lot more detail here than you do here. This is the Journalsay folder again. So this is the Journalsay with 3 sheets of paper. So you can still see a lot more detail right here in the Temu one than you... Yes, you are on a roll tonight. I wonder if Journalsay embossing folder would be more crisp if the pressure is adjusted. Oh, see, both of y'all are thinking alike. Okay, so, yeah, but you can see this now has 3 sheets of paper on top of it. Let's try, why not? Okay, we're going to try something else here. Same Journalsay. Yep, that's the Journalsay one. Put that piece of paper down, put that down, and instead of using any sheets of paper, let's try the thin die adapter and see what effect that has on it. Pull this back over here. Zip. Put this down here. So bottom plate, thin die adapter plate, embossing plate. We'll have those pages stack up like the Princess and the Pea mattress at the end of the night. You know, we just might. And you know what? That's okay. No, it won't even go through with the thin die adapter. It won't even take it. The machine won't even take it. So the thin die adapter is too thick for the machine to even take it through. So thin die adapter doesn't work. Why don't we try 4 sheets? All right, so there's the 3, and there's the 4th one, because that's the other half of the one that I tore. We'll put 4 sheets on top of it. Pull that back out so I can make my sandwich. Put the embossing plate back on top of it and run it through. Now, it's having a difficult time running it through this time. This is like risk the machine kind of running it through. I would not try any further pressure than that because that is really risking my machine at that point. Oh, darn it. I broke it. I broke my ink box. I did. I broke my little ink box. Oh, no. break the inks, break the ink boxes. I know. This is destructive crafting. All right, so this is with 3 sheets of paper on top of it, and this is the Journalsay one with, this is the Journalsay with 4 sheets of paper on top of it. So Journalsay 4 sheets. This is Journalsay with 3 sheets, and this is the Temu with just the 2 sheets. And still in that same spot, right here, there's no definition in the leaves, and right here there is. I wonder, is there any definition in the folder? Do the leaves? No, actually, it's the folder's fault. There is no definition right here. The part that's not getting any definition in the embossing paper is, I know, we don't want to risk the machine. We absolutely don't. But, you know, at that point, I'd just get another one for free because I've got the calendar game going on twice now, so I could just get another one for free. That sounded really crass. I didn't mean that to sound that way. That sounded really dismissive and crass, and I'm sorry, that's not what I intended to say. But this is not embossed here. This is absolutely flat right here. This Journalsay folder has a flat spot right there that the Temu folder does not. So if I hold them up the same way, right here, this spot right here is not, there's no texture in this spot on the Journalsay folder, but there is texture on the Temu folder. This is interesting. Different design or just a little design flaw? I don't know. I mean, ostensibly, they are exactly the same. This is Journalsay. This is, let me check and make sure. Yeah, this is Temu. This is Journalsay. This is the latest Journalsay one. This is the Journalsay with 4 sheets of paper on it. And, I mean, ostensibly, that's the exact same pattern. I mean, the fronds line up perfectly, but for some reason, there's just no dimension in this portion where there is dimension in this portion on the Temu one. That's interesting. Now, there's no dimension right here on the Temu one, but there's also no dimension in the Journalsay one. However, down here, there's more dimension in the Temu one than there is in the Journalsay one. That's interesting. I said that backwards. There's more dimension in the Journalsay one than there is in the Temu one. This is interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, so moving on, let's test something. Let's test something further. All right, so this is Journalsay 4 and this is Temu 2. So this is Temu and 2 sheets of paper. This is Journalsay and 4 sheets of paper. And this is the soft green, beautiful, beautiful ink. Oh my gosh, this is the best ink ever. I'm going to run it over the embossed side, not the debossed side. All right, so let's just run this over, just like so, and see what kind of difference we get in the embossing. And I probably shouldn't be doing this on my cutting mat, but too late now. I already did it. So let's just run this over. I'm just lightly running it over the top of the embossed side of the embossing folder. And this is the one I just did is Temu. That's Temu. That's Journalsay with 4 sheets of paper. So interesting. Very, very interesting. There's definitely a lot more definition in this area than there is in this area, but you can see there are portions on both of them where it's just, this is also very flat on the Journalsay one, whereas it's also very dimensional on this one. Interesting. No worries, that is very interesting. Maybe examine the other embossing folders from Journalsay to see if they have dimension. Yeah, well, sure, why not? The only other one that I have an example of from both companies, Temu and Journalsay, is whatchamacallit one, the Halloween one. The difference isn't nearly as striking. This is Temu, this is Journalsay. There is definitely more dimension in the Temu one, definitely more detail in the Temu one, but it's not as obvious. It's not like that one spot where the leaves are completely flat in the Journalsay one. So, I don't know. And I guarantee you that Journalsay one, this embossing folder is sold for like $20 or $25 from Spellbinders or 4th and 9th and Main or Erica Creates or whatever. I don't know the names of all the companies. I listen to other card makers and they're sitting there rattling off the names of the companies like they're their best friends. And I'm sitting there going, man, you spend a lot on your craft supplies. And that's me. That's totally me. That's a me thing. I'm extremely frugal when it comes to spending money. Extremely frugal, which is why I buy a lot of things from Temu. But you already know that I don't buy finished things from Temu because I don't like, they earned their bad reputation on finished things. So I don't buy anything finished from Temu, but I will buy craft supplies. So I guarantee you that this is made by somebody. This is made by Spellbinders or 39th and Main or Bow Bunny. Somebody makes this as an embossing folder. It would be interesting to get hands on one of these and from a main brand company and see how it compares to the other ones. Because, I mean, as far as it goes, that's a really pretty embossing. And, you know, to get right down to it, that's still really super pretty. You know, I didn't pay anything for this because Journalsay sent it to me for free to trial it out. But even if I had bought it, I would have paid $5.50 for it because that's how much they sell it for. And if you're looking for it on the Journalsay site, it's called Embossed Folder. But no, it's not embossed folder. It's called embossed card. They don't sell them as embossing folders. But I don't see enough of a difference in these two to actually know exactly where to start looking on the folder for this. Do any of y'all see where I could look for a specific difference? This is the Journalsay side. This is the Temu side. And while the Temu side is definitely crisper, well, it's better on the back. It shows it better on the back. Okay, these two pumpkins right here. This pumpkin and this pumpkin have definite differences. So that is the pushy innie side, which I think is the debossed side, I think. I received my magnet. Thank you so much. It's adorable. Oh, you're quite welcome, Mary. I finally got those out in the mail. If you're receiving the piece of corrugated cardstock, Brian has already put up his example of it on the Facebook group. And if you hadn't checked it out, oh my gosh, he did such a good job with it. It is so cool. And no, you're not absolutely obligated to do it. It's just if you have the spoons to do it, then absolutely do it. But Brian's is amazing. I really like what he did with it. He did some really cool, he did a really cool technique on it. All right, so it's this pumpkin right here, but it's in the debossing side. So it's this pumpkin right here, and this is the Journalsay folder, and this is the Temu folder. So is there a visible difference between these two right here? And honestly, even with me sitting right here, right next to them, I honestly can't see that big a difference. Maybe a little bit. So I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. I honestly don't, but there is definitely a difference between the Journalsay folder in both of these and the Temu folder in both of these permutations of embossing folders. So interesting. That's very interesting. So moving on, I want to make a card because I haven't actually made a card in a while. So I'm going to start with this one, which was my entire intention to begin with, which is why I wanted to test this one. So I want to start with this one, and I want to start with these. I picked these up at Ollie's, but I did not get them from the crafting section. I got these from the Christmas decorations section, and I had an idea for this. First of all, get rid of the icky sticky. Now there are 12 of these little tags in here, and it cost $1.29, and I hope you can see it, but the little pink in his beard is where the gilting is on this one, is where the foil is on this one, and it's so pretty. I love it so much. This is really, really cool. It's got these, maybe it's supposed to be red, but it looks pink to me, and I absolutely love it. I wanted to try something like this, where you take this particular this die cut thing, because this is essentially a die cut. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to cut off part of the bottom of it because it's too long. Which one of these is the cutting one? Is that cutting? No, that's scoring. All right, so I'm going to cut off the bottom of this because it's too long. And then I'm going to make a card out of this because I think this is the neatest idea. I mean, all of the work is done for you already when you get something like this. And there's really no difference between using this as a piece of, as a die cut thing, as using one of those Bow Bunny ones that you get. So I cut that off, and I need to take this off, so I'm not actually going to untie that. I'm going to just cut it. I'm going to cut it so that I can keep the string, because the string is really pretty and might be able to use on the card itself in a way. I'm not sure. But here we go. So I cut the string, I cut the knot off of the string. So I have this piece of string here, and I have this, and I need something to cover that up. Right there. So this was my idea. And if you watched my last video that I put up yesterday, I showed they had 6 or 7 different ones of these on there. And so you could sit there and have them look different like this, and then put this on top of the fern. And I need to get more of that color on the edges. I need these edges to really pop. You know what? I'm actually not going to use this one because I have writing on it. I just saw that this one says Temu in the corner. Oops, hold on a sec. I got to make another one. Hold on. Clean that off. Again, my tip, use a medicine bottle to keep your baby wipes so that you can keep using them over and over again, because there's no reason to get rid of them until they've been used up to the point where they can't be used anymore. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I got to make another one. Pull this out. I'm going to use the Temu folder because that's the one that gets a better impression on it. So put that down. Put this down. Sandwich it. I need 2 sheets and the top die, which is on the top plate, which is this one. And here we go. And for those of you that received your magnets, you're so welcome. I'm so glad that you were there for my 1,000. Oh, to speak of that, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't even start with this. I'm up to 1,115 subs. What? I'm a 10th of the way to 2,000 now. Yay! I mean, that's for some of the channels out there, they'd be like 1,100. But for me, that's a cool thing. I am so pleased by that. I am really, really happy about that. I've started to put up some videos of the kitty cats as shorts, because I go into the kitchen and I end up talking to Baby Bear all the time, and I've just started putting up a camera and recording it, so it's really cute. And so I've started putting those up as shorts, and I've gotten some viewers from that. And thank you very much. Yay! Thank you, Doris. Thank you, Mary. That's so cool. I'm so happy about that. So here we go, I'm putting down the ink heavier this time. So I'm actually putting this down a lot heavier than I did the first time, because I really want these these fern fronds or pine fronds to really pop. So putting it down a little heavier this time. I guess I really didn't have to go heavy in the middle, since I'm going to put a Santa Claus in the middle of it. But there it is right there. And look how beautiful that is. Just that right there is so cool. You could also use an X-Acto knife to cut around Sana's beard. Oh, I could do that. Actually, I have the coolest knife. Have y'all ever seen these knives? I found this one. This was on a sale at Michael's when they were doing their clearance. They had this little knife on sale, and it just, how does it work? It goes through your finger this way. How does it go through my finger? It looks like the blade is on. No, that's right. It goes through your finger this way, just like so, and you can use it like that. I think that's the coolest little knife. It's just this little finger knife. Let's see if that works. So let's try that, because I can use this X-Acto knife and do it. I could also use my Cutter Bee scissors to try fussy cutting it, because why not? I mean, I have 12 of these to play with. I know 1,100 subscribers, Amir. I was so pleased when I saw that. I was like, I got to 1,100. Actually, when I was at the doctor's office, I asked anybody who worked there if they liked crafts, and I got 4 more subs that way. So that was on yesterday. And then oh, look at that. It works really well. That's too cool. But I got this it's just a little finger knife, and it just, to me, it gives me a lot more control over where my knife is going when I'm cutting out with this than if I were trying to use an X-Acto knife with a long blade. So I just have this little finger knife that I do this with. Yeah, it is a very cool one. I really like this knife. Oh, I lost where I was. Where did I last cut? There it is. So coming around this way. Never seen it before. It's a cool crafting tool. We were in, actually, no, I was with my husband at the time. We went into Michael's so that I could use up a $5 thing. And this was probably, I don't know, 5 months ago now. We both went in and we went to the clearance stuff. And I found this in the clearance area, and I was just too happy to find it, because even just looking at it in the package, I thought, wow, I would have so much more control if I used that kind of knife than if I used my regular X-Acto knife that I've been using. And there it is. Look at that. Perfect. Almost perfect. Let me get this one off too. I didn't quite get this one cut close enough. All right, so here we go. Last little bit. Yeah, I make noises. Sorry, that's an autism thing. Actually, I'm not sorry about that. I think it's cool and cute. But if it offends you, then my apologies for that. But I'm not sorry about doing it. And it's really cool because it comes with a double sheath system. So it's got this one little one right here that goes in this way. Oh, I had it backwards. It goes in this way to protect it. So this protects the blade more than anything else. If I could get it to go in, because some reason it's not going in right now. Of course, try to do something live. That's what happens when you try to do something live. That's when things go wrong. I can't get it to go back in its little sheath. Well, I'll do it later, but I will put this one on it so I don't cut myself with it. I'll go put it back in its little sheath later, but it comes with a double sheath, so it's got this little protection here, and it's got the bigger protection to make sure that I don't cut myself with it. But look how cool that is. I mean, that just absolutely cut it out perfectly. There we go. And now we've got this thing with this little dot right here. And what I wanted to do with that little dot right there was I wanted to take part of the card that I cut off and just copy the side of the hat. And so it's like a double layer hat. So I need to get my knife out again and just copy this side of the hat. Hold this down and just make a copy of that side of the hat. Not cut through the original hat, just make a copy of that side of the hat with the part that I cut off the bottom because the pattern's the same. So I get this little piece here, put my cover back on top of that. There we go. And so now I've got this little piece that I can put on top there and give it a little bit of dimension. And since it's going to have dimension anyway, why not actually give it dimension? So this was my idea. This idea started rattling around in my brain when I saw these in Ollie's yesterday. Because I did go into Ollie's yesterday. That was one of my 3 places that I went into yesterday. And after Ollie's, after my physical therapy, I was done. I was totally done with the day after my physical therapy. But I did it. I managed to get there and I managed to do it. So yay, that's a win. I will take any win that I can get when it comes to mental health. I just have to say that. There we go. So that one can go there and then put this over here on this side and flap it down the other way so that it's got good adhesion. So this is going to give Santa's hat just a little bit of dimension to it. Put that over there on my drying rack. Get my little hooky tool and start pulling these off. Here we go. Pull that off. There we go. And pull this one off. There we go. Stick it to my fingers, which I didn't want to do, but that's okay. It'll come off. And then put this on top, line it up where it goes on top so it's got this little bit of dimension on top and it hides that little hole that was where the tag would have been. Just like that. So there we go. So we've got this little Santa hat that's got this little dimension. And if I really wanted to do more, if I wanted to cut off even more of it, I could probably get the whole Santa hat out of the bottom of that. But that's just a really cool way to add dimension to it. And then I've got this right here, and I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to put it down on there, and I'm going to add even more dimension to it. So I'm going to put even more of this dimensional stuff on it. So we'll put this one up here at the top because it's already about the right shape. Pull off some more of my little tape. This comes from Temu. I absolutely love this, but this does not show up if you search for, excuse me, if you search for double-sided foam tape. You find this by looking for mounting tape, and it's sold in 50-meter rolls, and this is not a full 50-meter roll. I've actually used probably about 3/4 of an inch off of this roll, so this roll would be about 1.5 inches wider in diameter when it was full. But it's just a great price because if you buy those direct from China, you get that 50-meter roll for like, the last time I looked it up, it was like $4.96. The price fluctuates between $5 and like $6.50. So it just really depends on when you look at it as to what price it is. But it is so much cheaper to buy this 50-meter roll off of Temu straight from China for $6 than it is to buy it from any of the local sellers that will happily sell it to you for a whopping $30. So, up to you. You spend the money the way you want to. Build a window or picture frame that Santa is looking through to cover up the little hole. Oh, Christina. Yes. Number 1, welcome to the guild because you haven't been in here before. And number 2, that is a great idea. That would be so cool just to make a little picture. Use a little die cutter to put a picture window over it. Oh my gosh, that would be so sweet and so cool looking. Oh, very cool. Thank you, Christina. I really appreciate that suggestion. That is a great suggestion. And welcome to the guild. That's why I love these live streams. I mean, we are really and truly a crafting group that get together and really and truly help each other come up with great ideas for how to do things, because I don't know everything. I don't think anybody knows everything. But a guild, the entire purpose of a guild is to get a bunch of like-minded people with similar skills together so that they can improve and practice their skills in a nurturing and supportive environment so that they can improve what it is that they do. And in this case, it's crafting. And really and truly, any crafts are welcome in this guild. I do paper crafting and beading and polymer clay, but absolutely any crafts are welcome in the guild. And we've got a Facebook group to go along with it and everything. So here we go. Put that down right there, just like so. Now, I don't have a sentiment on that. Let me see if I can find my holiday sentiments. Oh, let's see, which one is this? Nope, that's You're on My Mind. Red, great couple, great teacher. That's my flowers. Ooh, is there? Hello. Hello, hello, hello. What's this one? That is not all in English. Okay. I have foreign language ones. Let love shine. Have a wonderful day. Thankful for you. Let your dreams take flight. Sending hugs. Be the reason someone smiles today. It's the little things on your special day. Life is wishing. What does the wishing you one say? It's probably wishing you a happy birthday. Let's see if I've got a good one, because one of these would be a great sized sentiment to put on this. That's the wrong side. Nope, that's the wrong side. Rise and shine. It's a good day to be happy. Choose happy. I don't like that one. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I don't like the choose happy and you should smile things, because that really doesn't address people's emotions. And some people don't have, a positive emotion in them at that point in time, and forcing them to find a positive emotion is not the way to do that. Let your love shine, be the rainbow, believe in you, wishing you joy. Oh, there we go. Wishing you joy. That's a good one. Okay, so we're going to use this wishing you joy one. Let me get that off. So I've got this little wishing you joy stamp right here. And I think I'm going to use my red from Journalsay, because I think that would be very pretty. And I'm going to put it on a piece of scrap cardstock that I have lying around somewhere. This one will do. And I'm going to get my red from Journalsay, and I'm going to get rid of that ad. So here we go. Stamp it down. This one is from Journalsay. This is the first time I've actually used this pad with the intention of using it. And that did not go very well. I don't know if I think it's the stamp. I think that, okay, yeah, the stamp's working better now. Sometimes you got to get a little bit of ink built up in the stamp before they start working well. And I think that's what the issue was. So I'm going to stamp a few more of these. Wishing you joy. Wishing you joy. Okay, I'm going to try and get it really well inked up this time. And I'm going to try for a really good one so that I can put it on the card. Wishing you joy. There we go. Let's see if another one. Wishing you joy. All right, so which one do you like? Do you like the darker one or do you like the lighter one? First one to say is the one I'm going to go with. Darker or lighter? This is the darker one. This is the lighter one. They both say wishing you joy. So, darker, lighter. Let me cover up. While you're working on that, I'm going to cover this stuff up because there's like a 30-second. Oh, Kathy piped in with darker. Darker it is. Darker wins. All right, so I'm going to wipe that off. I'm going to brush this a little bit so it can dry some, because I think this is pigment ink and I don't want it to smudge while I'm cutting it out. So dry that up a little bit. Put this back on my stamp pad, because if I don't put my stamps back immediately, I tend to lose them because, well, I mean, you can tell. This is another place where I sit there and say, I would love to see the extra 6 inches for all the people who have crafting channels. I'd love to see 6 inches beyond their camera reach. At least you know that my area is all messed up, because this is crafting. This is like, I don't know what you'd call it, gung-ho crafting maybe. Maybe that's the word for it. Maybe, chaotic crafting. Maybe that's it. Hey, 2 people piped in with darker. So I'm going to cut this out. Cut that there. Cut this way. And I'm cutting off extra paper so that I can cut it to the size that I want it later without having to worry about it. So I'm going to use my little Cutter Bee scissors right here, which I got from Ollie's for $1.99. Oh my gosh, that was such a good buy. These are so cool. I love these little things. So there we go, wishing you joy. And this is what my idea was, because now that it's done, there's really only one place that I see to have a sentiment, and that's like right up there. Although now that I look at it on the card, I don't like it at all. Looks like he's got that on his forehead, like he tattooed it up there. Nope, got to find a different place for it. That was my idea. And no, that doesn't work. That doesn't look good at all. That looks really kind of horribly bad. No. Maybe we'll put it down here in his beard. That's definitely better. All right, I'm open to suggestions, because my idea was awful. My idea was garbage. So I'm open to suggestions to where I should put this sentiment, because I was going to put it in the brim of his hat, and that looks terrible. That just looks awful. No, I don't like that. Look at it. If I put it in the upper echelons of his hat, what about there? No, I still don't even like that. I mean, it's better than putting it in the brim of his hat, because it's got a little bit of hiding. It's hiding underneath. I'd cut off a little bit more of the bottom to make it fit in there better. But no, I still don't even like that. Let's see. Santa's beard is nice. Okay, so Mary says Santa's beard is nice. So that's a good place right there. Santa's beard. I like that. That's a good place. What about down on the fern? No, not really. I don't know, maybe. Leave just Santa alone. If I've gone through to work to make this, I'm going to put it on there. Maybe in an angle like it's coming out of his mouth. So like this. Oh, that's not a bad idea, Kathy. Okay, what do you think about that? All right, so option number 1 is at the bottom of his beard, coming up through the little bubbles that are in his beard. Option number 2 is coming out of his mouth like he's wishing you joy. All right, so beard looked good. Maybe, so I've got 2 votes for beard and 2 votes for mouth. I need a tiebreaker here. I got 2 votes for beard and 2 votes for mouth. All right, still waiting for another tiebreaker. I know it takes 30 seconds between the time that I say it and the time that you get to respond to it, because for some reason there's a 30-second lag between when I say something and when you see it. I like Kathy's idea. So coming out of his mouth at an angle of the upper right corner of the fern. At the angle in the upper right corner of the fern. Well, that's a new suggestion. So Christina is suggesting at an angle in the upper right corner of the fern, right up there. So what do y'all think of that? Now, I do have to point out that this has to be cut down on both sides and the top and bottom, because this is currently 4.25 by 4.25 by 5.5. So it's too big for my background. So bear that in mind, that it's going to get a little bit smaller on all dimensions. So if we put it there, it would have to go up underneath his hat like that, like he's, like he's the Mad Hatter with 9 3/4 in the tip of his hat. I mean, it's not bad. I don't mind it. But what do y'all think? Okay, so we've got corner of the hat. We've got 3 votes for beard, and we've got 4 votes for coming out of the corner of his mouth. Okay, make that at an angle of right. Okay, so that's, so we, oh, I'm sorry, I take that back. We've got 3 votes for mouth, 2 votes for beard, and 1 vote for up in the corner like this. So while y'all are figuring that out, I'm going to get out my roller tape so that I can put tape on the back of this. Because I'm just going to tape it down. I'm not going to give this one dimension. I'm just going to tape it down. And that was a terrible time for an ad to show up. All right, so I got this one. I found these at Ollie's a long time ago. These were at the Melbourne Ollie, no, not Melbourne, New Smyrna Beach Ollie's for $1 for a pack that had the display thing and a extra tape run. So let's get the tape on here, because it's just going to be on flat. And this is really nice tape. This is the Recollections tape runner. So this is really good tape. And I'm going to put a good amount on here to make sure that it stays on wherever we decide to stick it. And I don't have I don't have anything else saying where it should go. So I do like up at the corner right up there, but I think mouth won. So we're going to go down here and put it on the corner of his mouth, like he's wishing you joy, like it's coming out of his mouth. I'm going to see if I can do this without covering up too many of them. So kind of like that. I like it a little bit over. I'll cover up 1 bauble completely. I'll cover up 2 baubles completely. There we go. Wishing you joy, just like so. And it's down. All right. Now I have to cut it a little bit smaller. I have to cut off about 1/4 of an inch on each side. Actually, no, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use this one to do it right here. Trying to make sure, because no messages have come through in a while, so I wanted to make sure that I was still live, but I do appear to still be live. So snap that down. So cut that off, and then come over here and cut a little bit off of this side, because I have to make it just a little bit smaller so it looks right on my thing. I think my tiny guillotine is giving up the ghost. It's giving me indications that it's giving up the ghost. There we go. And one more little tiny cut up here at the top. And that should do it. And there it is. There's my little Santa. Oh no! My broken mink piece just fell into the abyss next to my desk. Oh no! Oh no! I'll have to dig that out afterwards. I just lost my broken piece to my mink. Seriously, if you have not watched Noob with a Mink yet, go back and watch it. It's like my first live on my channel, and it's so funny because I opened up my brand new mink laminating thing and literally broke it almost instantaneously. It was funny. You know, what am I going to do? Sit there and cry or sit there and laugh? You know what? I'm going to choose to sit there and laugh. Where are they? They're there. Bazil. All right, so I'm going to use, what am I going to use? Since the things are pink, I'm going to use a pretty pink Bazil card to put this on. So here we go. Make sure it's on the right side. And that's the way it's going to go on there. And it's going to have this really beautiful little pink background to pull out the pink in his cheeks and the pinks in the baubles. And I covered up a pink bauble over here, but it was kind of necessary to do that. And I am going to put this on with dimension because it has a lot of dimension there, just like so. And other than the sentiment on the inside of the card, this card will be pretty much done. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, there is a Facebook group that goes along with this. There is also a Patreon, but I'm not very active on Patreon. In fact, my goal last Monday, not this past Monday, but the Monday before, was to put up a newsletter every Monday saying what I was going to do on my YouTubes for the week. And not only did I not do what I said I was going to do, I did not put one up this week. So yeah, that didn't work out. I'll get back to it. I will. It's just I ran out of spoons on Monday to do anything, so it just didn't happen. But I will get back to my Patreon newsletter. But there are benefits to being either a member of this channel, because the highest level of membership on this channel comes with Happy Mail, and there are levels of the Patreon that comes with Happy Mail, and there's actually even 2 levels of the Patreon that come with international Happy Mail, because most of my stuff I can't send overseas. I don't remember if I said it already, but Ruth, please reach out to me on Facebook. If I've already said it, sorry for being redundant. But I'm going to use my little trick on this, which is going to be to pull these off. These are not cooperating. Here we go. Dun, da, da, da. Of course it's not cooperating. I'm doing this live on YouTube because that's why it's not cooperating. If I were doing this without doing it live on YouTube, it would work perfectly. But what I'm doing is I'm just pulling off the little corner, and I'm not pulling it all the way off. But the one in the center, I actually will pull all the way off. And the reason that I'm going to do that is because that gives me an opportunity to line it up exactly where I want it before I actually stick it down, so that I can make sure that it is lined up perfectly so that I can get it exactly where I want it and then stick it down instead of having to worry about it sticking before I want it to. Now, I have seen other crafters that will pull off the tape completely on foam tape and then put glue on it, but to me that's kind of a waste of glue or a waste of foam tape. I mean, if you want dimension and you don't want to use foam tape, just use a stack of paper that you're not going to use. So I pulled off the middle one completely, and the other ones are these little curly cues coming out. Make sure that you're putting it on the correct side of the card so that it opens correctly, and that's correct, so I want it on this side. And now that I've got those little curly cues, they hold it off the card until I have it lined up exactly where I want it to be, so that it is even all the way around, or at least as even as I'm going to make it. And then I push down on the center because the center one's completely exposed. Pull off one, push it down, pull off another one, push it down, pull off another one, push it down, and pull off another one and push it down. And that way I get this exactly where I want it to be inside the card, just like so. So we've got Wishing You Joy and a little Santa Claus, and this came from Ollie's, and I got a pack of 10 of them or 12 of them for $1.29. I still have the other piece of string if I want to use it in some sort of embellishment, because these little strings are really cool to use in embellishing cards. I don't know where it went. I have to find it before I go out. There it is. You know, I could use this little piece of string to embellish this card if I wanted to go up the side or something like that, but it's too late now because I've already put the card front down on the card base. But if I wanted to do something like that, I could always put a little piece of string over here so that there was a piece of string going around, and I would attach it to the back side of the card front so that it would sit there and just have this nice little piece of extra embellishment on there, just like so. You know, it's a pretty rudimentary card. I mean, it is absolutely, it is a pretty rudimentary card, but it's a nice card. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this little card right here. It's a nice little card that would work great as a greeting card for a Christmas greeting or something like that. Or if you're doing a one of those gift exchanges at a place of employment, you know, you could use this for that. Where's my corner rounder? I brought it back here. I found my actual corner rounder and I brought it back here because I have two different corner rounders and now I don't see either of them. Ooh, of course not. Oh, there it is. Okay, so got my corner rounder, so I'm going to round these corners off just like so. Zap, 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 zap. And the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pick an inside sentiment, which means that I have to find another, I have to actually find Christmas ones. There we go. This one is actually a Christmas one. Yay! Found it. Cool. So pull this out, open that up. Oh, look, it even has a Merry Christmas on there. I could have put a really cool little Merry Christmas on the front if I'd pulled that out sooner, but that's okay. Let's just do something simple. Season's greetings and a Happy New Year. Because it's got wishing you joy on the front, and it's going to get season's greetings and a Happy New Year on the back. And this is something that I do whenever I package up a card, is I lose my stamp pad thingy. There it is. And then I find my stamp pad thingy. So I put that on there, get some ink on there. It's got a piece of Utz on there, and I don't know what that is, but I don't want it on my ink pad. And then push this down into there. So let's practice this one since this has never been used. Let's do a little practice spot on a piece of waste card. Oh, I didn't get it down right. Oh, wow, that's actually really nice. And another one. Oh, that is a really nice stamp. That's a really cool stamp. That's really super pretty. Came from Temu. This one's a Temu one. This was a Temu purchase. So season's greetings. Oops, I just got ink on that, so I'll turn it over. Season's greetings and Happy New Year. And I really should learn to line these up on the stamp pad before I do this, but I don't. There we go. Not perfect. Close enough. Wipe this off. So this is just finishing up this little card so I can get it all packaged up and ready to go. Oh, darn it. I didn't even do what I said I was going to do. Well, actually, I have it here. What I'll do is I'll cut one of these out and stick it inside the thing that the card goes in, so that it is ready to go. And I'm going to dry this off some, put that away, close this up, throw these little bits away because I don't need them sitting there clogging up my desk. Wrist that off. There we go. Throw these little bits away. Dun, 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 dun. Take out my little tape runner right here. Do this. Wish that. Do my little tape runner. Go the other way on it. So I have that ready to go. Put my little tape runner cut back on. Put this inside my card. Season's greetings and Happy New Year. Just like so. And there it is. One finished card. Wishing you joy, season's greetings, and Happy New Year. And then it will be packed up in one of these little containers like this with the card and the envelope and this little sticker right here that has the inside sentiment on it. Like so. And normally I would use the second generation stamp as the inside sentiment, but I forgot to do it this time because I was just, I don't know, call it nervous. And then slide it down in here. And these have icky sticky on them, but there's nothing that I can do about it. So there we go. And that's it. So we made a completed card in this little video, and we chatted and we had a great time. And I hope everybody who joined had a great time. And I really appreciate everybody who's here. I am so pleased and so happy to be up to my 1,115 subscribers, and actually since Christina is now here, that's got to be 1,116 subscribers because Christina had to subscribe to chat. So I'm really, really pleased, and I'm so grateful to everybody who has decided to join this little crafting guild that we've got going on, because it really is a lot of fun to get together with all of y'all and to sit here and craft together. And it's just, it really is the best. I can't express how happy I am to see everybody here and to share this time with everybody. Really and truly. And then the inside sentiment magnet goes down inside, and then I pull that off and I seal it down, and that is one card all ready to go, except I just realized that I did not put the stamp on the back of it. Darn it. After this is over, I will open it up and I will put my Onaric Art Studio stamp on the back of it because I forgot to do that. And you know what? No better time than the present on this. So, what did y'all think? What do you think of the little card that we created? Well, I put my little stamp on the back. Let's see, it goes this way. Push it down. There we go. Onaric Art Studios. My little stamp. Set that off. Either my text thing, my chat thing isn't working, or I haven't waited long enough for y'all to make responses in here. And those of you that are lurking, absolutely wonderful. I really enjoy you being here. I understand that lurking is sometimes all that you can do, and you know, I really appreciate that as well. Really and truly, the two best things that you can do to help my channel is to watch my videos all the way through and to like them. Those are the two things that absolutely help my channel the most, because those are the two things that really make YouTube push them forward. Watching them all the way through also increases my ad revenue, and I really appreciate you doing that for me. I really, really do. But then also the liking, that's what pushes it out. And if you make if you do any other interaction with it, like commenting, sharing it, hyping it, any of those things, those also help. But really the two best things, the two things that I just really look for the most is just watching it all the way through and liking the video. So there we go. There's our little one. You know, if I were to do this one again, I would actually put dimension on the wishing you joy. I don't think it looks right flat. With dimension there should be some dimension here to balance it out. But, you know, hey, live and learn. That's the whole purpose of crafting. So thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. There's two Marys in here that have actually, it goes Mary, Mary, Mary. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm super pleased if you're watching this after it went up. I'm so pleased for you to be here afterwards. And I'm so grateful to everybody who interacted with the channel. And it looks like I have quite a bit to straighten up now, but that's okay. Everything has a place, and most of the things, they go in a place that's really close to where I'm sitting, so I can just put it where it belongs super quickly and just get everything put together and where it goes and everything. And just thank you, everybody. Thank you so very much for watching and for, you know, being here and for supporting and just, you know, everything. Thank you for everything. And before I get, just way too gushy, I'm just going to, thank you, Doris. I see that. I'm just going to end this here, but remember, it's going to be any messages that you put in after I have said this, I'm not going to have seen while I was still live, because it takes 30-second delay for what I say to go out to you so that you can respond to it. So there's a significant delay. So all of the things that you are saying to me right now, I appreciate you. I am so very grateful to you. You are so very welcome, and I hope that everybody has an excellent rest of whatever time of day it is that you've watched this. Cheers and happy crafting. Maybe. Did I hit the button? Nope, there's the button. And